Hello dear friends, welcome to MSBT online learning platform. Bring you the most relevant content in the most attractive digital format. Myself, Astimal Kumawat, lecturer in Civil Engineering Department, Government Polytechnic, Yavatmal. In this session, we are going to cover UO2H, that is methods of application of irrigation water and its assessment, which covers topic 2.2, that is methods of application of irrigation water and its assessment. The learning objective of today's session is to classify various methods of application of irrigation water, to classify various methods of assessment of irrigation water. To achieve these objectives, here is the content: concept map, methods of application of irrigation water, that is surface, subsurface and sprinkler, methods of assessment of irrigation water, and last, that is the application of concept. Here is the concept map. You can see these are the different methods of the irrigation: surface, subsurface, sprinkler and drip. Under the surface, flooding method, furrow method and contour method are there. Under the flooding method, uncontrolled flooding, controlled flooding are there. Under the controlled flooding, free flooding, contour laterals, border strips, check flooding, basin flooding, zigzag method are comes. Let us see one by one. Start with some basic definition, that is surface irrigation. In this method of irrigation, water is flooded over the field to a few centimeters, and to control flow, the surface is smoothened and then modified with border, furrows or corrugations, etc. Subsurface irrigation. In this method, the water is applied to the soils directly under the surface. Moisture reaches the plant roots through capillary action. Sprinkler irrigation. In this method, water is distributed through a system of pipes, usually by pumping. It is then sprayed into the air through sprinklers so that it breaks into small water drops which falls to the ground. Let us start with the surface method, and that is flooding method. In this method, water flows and spreads over the surface of the land. Varied quantities of water are allowed on the fields at different times. Hence, flow of water under surface irrigation comes under unsteady flow. Under this method, two methods are there. A. Uncontrolled or wild flooding. Water is sprayed or flooded on a rather smooth flat land without much control or prior preparation. It is preferable in inundation irrigation. Second one is controlled flooding. The water is sprayed over the land with proper methods. The controlled flooding can be achieved by free flooding, contour laterals, border strips, or checks or levees. The next, that is the free flooding method, which comes under the controlled method of irrigation. Water is applied by flooding the land of rather smooth and flat topography from field ditches without any checks or guidance of the flow. Here you can see the diagram under the free flooding methods. Then next is contour laterals. This method is applicable for steeper terrain by small contour laterals, the spacing of which depends upon the prominent grade and vertical intervals of about 10 to 15 centimeters. Next method is border strip method. Farm is divided into a series of strips 10 to 20 meter wide and 100 to 300 meter long. Borders are usually long, uniformly graded strips of land. In this diagram, you can see the strips of the land. Next method, that is check flooding method. In this method, the water is applied to completely level or a dead level area enclosed by borders. This requires perfectly level field. This method of irrigation is used successfully for both field and row crops. So here you can see in the diagram, the field is surrounded by the ditches, field ditches or the field channels from where the water is applied to the crops. Next is ring basin method. The ring basin flooding is a special form of check basin flooding adapted to orchids. Ring basins are formed for tree. In some cases, one ring basin may be formed for two or more trees. So here you can see two or more trees are there. Next method, the zigzag method. In this method, the whole area is divided into a number of squares or rectangular plots. Each plot is then subdivided with the help of low bunds or levees. This method is suitable for relatively level plots. Here you can see from the main ditches the water is applied to the field and it will be going in a zigzag manner so that entire field will be irrigated. Next is furrow method of the surface irrigation. Furrow irrigation system is used for vegetable crops and water is applied in furrows. This saves water at the same time plant is not in direct contact with the water as same plant like that of vegetables is very sensitive to the ponded water. Next method of surface irrigation is contour farming method. This is done on steep slope hills. Rainwater or irrigation water is allowed to run down the steepest slopes. This method is suitable for the terrace farming. Next method, that is subsurface irrigation. The subsurface irrigation method consists of supplying water directly to the root zone of the crop. Favorable conditions for the subsurface practice are number 1, impervious subsoil at a reasonable depth, uniform topographic conditions, good quality of irrigation water. Under this situation, you can prefer for the subsurface irrigation. Next method of irrigation is overhead or sprinkler irrigation. Irrigation water is applied to the land in the form of a spray. Sprinklers can be used on all soil types of any topography. According to the equipment and procedure used, the sprinkler method may fall in fixed type or portable type. This is all about the methods of irrigation. Now let us see the methods of assessment of irrigation water. First of all, see what is meant by assessment of irrigation water. The water which have been supplied for irrigation to the farmers is at the government expenses. Some nominal charges must therefore be levied on the farmers for using this water. The fixation of such charges is known as assessment of irrigation water. These charges may be levied on the farmers for the following reasons. Number 1, to recover the cost of the construction of the project. Number 2, to recover the maintenance cost of the project. Number 3, to collect some revenue for the nation. Let us see the methods of assessment of irrigation water. Let us start with the first, that is assessment on area basis or crop rate basis. In India, this type of assessment is generally adopted. The charges are levied on the actual area which is under irrigation and it is crop wise. It is based on cash value of the crop and its paying capacity, water requirement of crop, time and demand of irrigation water. Although these have some disadvantages, number 1, the charges are levied on the area basis and not on the actual quantity of the water used. This type of irrigation encourages intensive irrigation rather than extensive irrigation. Farmer is charged depending upon the area cultivated by him and the type of the crop grown by the farmer. Second method, that is volumetric assessment. This method involves levying charges on actual volume of water supplied. This will be an ideal system under which the irrigator has an incentive for economic use of water and shortfalls in supplies can be distinctly located. However, not a very practical method for India due to the necessity of installation of numerous water meters on irrigation outlets scattered all over the channel and difficult to maintain besides a heavy initial cost. In addition to the cost, the method has the following shortcomings. A whole time staff is needed to keep records of the meters. The meters may not work on small heads at the outlet. Silt and debris may obstruct the flow through the metered outlet. Cultivators may pilfer water by unauthorized methods. Next is method number 3, that is assessment on seasonal basis. Rate of assessment is based on the type of crop grown in a particular tract during certain crop season. Depending upon the cropping season, the farmers are also charged for the cropping area. In Rabi season, availability of water is less and demand is more, and hence in Rabi season, farmers are charged higher rates. Next method, that is composite rate basis. In addition to water consumed by farmers for cultivation, they are required to pay land revenue. Composite rate is a combination of water charges and the land revenue. Some states prefer to collect both the revenue together. The next method of the assessment, and that is permanent assessment or betterment levy basis. Farmers may use canal water during droughts even though they have their own source of water supply, that is open well or tube well. They may require water from canal system only during droughts. Hence, in such cases, they are charged a nominal amount of a permanent basis. The farmers of that area are levied at a fixed rate every year due to such provisions. Such a levy is known as betterment levy. During the drought periods, the farmer will be authorized to use water from such a canal without paying extra charges above the betterment levy. So this is about the assessment of irrigation water. Now let us see the application of the concept that we learned. The concept is useful in understanding the requirement of water for different kinds of crops according to various conditions of topography. For this purpose, farmers may use different kind of techniques and methods for applying water actually on the field. It is also useful for the farmer to make the necessary arrangements for adopting a particular method of irrigation for optimum utilization of water. According to need and situation, charges are levied to the farmers. Hence, it will be useful to understand the concept of optimum utilization of water. So, what we learned today? Concept map, the methods of application of irrigation water, that is surface, subsurface and sprinkler method. Then methods of assessment of irrigation water. Then we saw the application of concept. So what is the key takeaways of today's session? Water from the reservoir is applied to farmland for the irrigation purpose by different kinds of techniques according to the need and situation. Another key takeaways is for the availed water to the users, government implement certain charges for it. These are the key takeaways. Now the references and links for the other educational purposes. The references are DC Punmia, J.G. Taigaonkar and N.N. Basak. And here are some YouTube links and prefer the YouTube links. Thank you dear friends.